Little bite. And we're on. Feels a bit bigger this time. Let's see if we've got a good size whiting.
What's going on, guys? I'm Bill and welcome to Bill's How To. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different on this channel, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to set up a fishing rod so that you can get outdoors and get fishing. Now, this isn't something that I usually do on this channel. However, over the next couple of weeks, I will be starting a new YouTube channel that I can post all my outdoor adventurous activities. Anything that I like to do in my spare time or on the weekends will be posted on that channel so that I don't mix the two together. As much as I love my how-to videos and working around the house or other people's houses, I also like to get outdoors and have a bit of balance in life. So that's the reason for the other channel. Hopefully, if you guys are interested in it, I'll post a new YouTube channel name once I come up with it over the next couple of weeks, and I'll be shifting this video from here over to there. So anyway, guys, we're setting up a brand new fishing rod today. Basics, let's get straight into it. Let's do this.
All right, guys, so this is the new fishing rod that I've got. It's a Penn Spin Fisher SSM. Also, the reel is a Penn 650 SSM. This one here is probably around $100, $120, so you don't need to spend too much money in order to get a good quality fishing rod. So this one here is a 7-foot fishing rod. Nice and simple, straightforward. Let's get started on the setting up. I'll show you guys what these buckets are going to be used for in a second. I've got a little trick to get our line onto the spool, which I'll show you guys how to do. Now, what we're using as well, like I said, guys, you don't have to spend too much money to get out there and catch a fish. We're using here a Berkeley Vanish line. Been using these ones here for years, to be 100% honest. 20 pound, decent size, pretty much a good all round, anywhere from 10 to 20 pound fluorocarbon line. This is what I'm using. Nice and simple, guys. We're not going to get very complicated on any of this. We've got also our ball sinker, swivel, and a 1/0 hook, which I'll show you guys how to set up in a second. So the first thing we're going to do is take our fishing line and we're going to feed that through all these rings here. So you can see those rings going all the way down the fishing rod. Just simply feed it all the way through, starting from the end. A little bit hard to do with one hand, but we're just going to feed that all the way down until we get to our reel. So I'm going to show you guys how to set this up bit by bit without having to use anybody else's help, especially when you have to get all this line onto your reel. That's probably the most difficult part of this whole setup, and I'll show you guys a little trick to get around that. All right, so now we're all the way down to our reel. That's pretty much all we've done, just run it through those eyelets or those rings on the fishing rod all the way down to our reel. So now we're going to take our line and we're just going to make a small little loop on the bottom. All we're doing is just basically tying off a little knot down on the bottom and creating a little loop. So any basic knot will do. If you just rub that over, loop it, and then we're just going to simply tie this section here off. So any basic knot, doesn't matter. All we need is just that little loop on the end. And the reason for that, I'll show you guys in a second. I'll just cut this little tab here off. So we'll just cut that tab off the end here. And now what we're going to do is just create a little slip knot. So first thing we need to do is open up our bail. Okay, so this is in the closed position. When it's facing down, flip that over and that's now in the open position. So that's going to be able to receive the line now or let the line out. So now that we've got this little loop, we're just going to create a little slip knot. So all you want to do is just take this line on the end and we're going to simply feed it straight through that loop. Nothing difficult yet, we're just feeding it straight through that loop and just pull it out with your fingers. What you'll notice is you're going to create a bigger loop. So you can see there as I pull it, I'm just simply creating a bigger loop. What we're going to do with this, I'll show you guys one more time in case you missed it. So we've got our loop. Doesn't matter which way you go through, from the front or from the back. We're just going to take that excess line, feed it straight through that loop and just pull it out with your fingers. The more you open that up, the bigger your loop's going to be. So we're going to take this, wrap it around our reel here, and then just simply pull back a little bit, and you can see there we've tightened that on. Once you've got it in that position, close the bail arm, get it up on your little ring here, And now we're ready to start feeding on our line.
So now we need to take our line from our spool and wind it onto our reel. The easiest way I find to do this is by using a pen or anything that's almost like a skewer shape. So whether it's a drill bit, a screwdriver, or anything like that. If you have a look on the back here, you'll notice there's a hole straight in the center. All you want to do is push that pen through the middle, and now we can hold on to that pen, and this is going to spin nice and free and help you get that onto your reel. Now, if you've got a second set of hands around, what you can do is just get them to hold on to the pen from either side, and that'll help you to get everything onto this reel nice and easy. However, in my case, no one's around right now, so what I'm going to do, be a little bit creative, and we're going to use these buckets. So we've got a big bucket on the bottom, small one on top, only because that was convenient at the time. So what we're going to do is we're going to lift this top bucket here off. We're going to slide our pen, let's take a little bit extra line. We're going to slot our pen on one side, drop that bucket on top, do the same on the other side, and now I've got my second set of hands organized. So now we can freely take all that line off and wind it straight onto the fishing rod. So now what we're going to do is to create a little bit of tension as we wind this onto our reel, just simply hold onto it with one hand and then wind it all on slowly. So you can see there, everything's winding up nicely. So we're just going to continue working this now all the way through, keeping that tension on so we get a nice tight line on our reel. And it's that simple, guys. So we're just going to keep winding this up, and I'll see you guys in a bit as soon as it's ready. So now that we've got our reel filled up, you can see there we've still got a bit of a gap, so we don't want to overfill this one here. We're going to now cut this line off. And we're ready to get started on putting on our hook, our swivel, and our sinker. So there's a whole range of different ways that you can set up your fishing rod depending on what fish you're targeting. But in this case here, I'm going to show you guys one of the most simple and effective setups for a whole range of different fish. What we're looking at doing here is we're going to set up a little trace. So we're just going to cut some line off the existing line from our fishing rod. Okay, so we're going to just stretch that out. We've got the tip right here. We're going to stretch it out probably about 30 centimeters to 40 centimeters, and we're going to cut that section there off. We're going to use that as a trace. Now, because we're using 20-pound line, it's still strong enough to use the same type of line as a trace. We're going to take the line coming from our fishing line. Okay, so the one coming off our reel or from the fishing rod. We're going to take our little ball sinker here, and we're going to feed that one there through. So just feed it all the way through. Let the ball sinker just hang all the way down. We're going to keep that line in our hand, and then we're going to take our swivel. So there's a little knot that I'm going to use here. Okay, so we basically feed it all the way through. Hopefully you guys can see there, feed it all the way through. Loop that one there back just a little bit. Okay, so all we've done is just fed it through, pulled it back. Now at this point, we're just going to turn that top of the line. So whether it's your swivel or your fishing line, turn it over about 6-7 times. You can see there, we're still wrapping that around. Just keep twisting it. About 6-7 times. And what we're going to do is we're going to take that little piece that we're still holding in our hand, and you can see there's a little loop right at the top near the swivel. So right at the top near the swivel, we're going to feed that one there back through. Pull it a little bit with my hand, and you can see there's another loop down the bottom. Feed it back through. Now, in case you guys have missed that, I might do a separate video on how to do this little knot here. As soon as that's ready, pull it all the way up, push it a bit, and now we've got a perfect knot ready to go. So we'll cut that little excess, that little tag right there. And once that's done, this here is the knot that we have now created. So it's a nice little tight knot, very, very effective. And this is pretty much the most common knot that I use on all my rigs. So at this point, we've got our sinker, we've got our swivel. Now we're going to take the little piece of line that we've just cut off. Once I can find it, it's kind of one of the benefits of this fluorocarbon line is it's very, very hard to see, and that's the benefit of it, apparently. So what we're going to do now is take the line. This is the line that we've just cut. We're going to take our swivel, and we're going to do the exact same knot on the other side. So once again, feed that through. Wrap it around a few times. Doesn't have to be specific. And then we're going to feed it through the back end.
Like I said, I might do another video, bit better of footage, bit better of close-up so that you guys can see exactly what I'm doing. Feed it back through that bottom loop for added strength. At this point you can wet the line if you like, it helps it slide a bit, or you can just push it up with your fingers. Push that up, make sure it's nice and tight, and we're going to cut that excess tag off again. So now we've got our sinker, our swivel. The only thing left is to put our hook on the end. Once again, exactly the same as we've just done. Hopefully this one will be a bit better for you guys. So feed it from the back, pull it all the way through, twist the hook around about 6, 7, 8 times. Like I said, it doesn't have to be specific. Feed it back through that little loop that we've created. So you can see there on the bottom, we've got a little loop. If you can see there, feed it straight through. And then we're going to push that one back through that little loop down the bottom, just for a bit of added strength. Once again, I'm going to slide that one there up. If you did want to add a little bit of water or saliva, it'll help it slide a lot better. You can do it there with your fingers as well. Put a little bit of tension on that line. Once again, we've got a perfect little knot. We'll cut that tag off, or the excess line. And once that's done, guys, this is what it ends up looking like. So we've got our main line here coming from the rings or from the eyelets on the fishing rod. We've got a free running sinker that just runs up and down. We've got our swivel, 30 to 40 centimeter trace. We've got our fishing hook, and it's that simple, guys. We're ready to get out there and catch a fish. Good little location here, south coast. The area is called Windang. Been coming here for years, and you've got good variety of fish. Lead straight out into the ocean, but around these little pockets here, generally whiting, flathead, brim. Got a very big variety of fish here. So I have a feeling what's happening here is there must be a lot of whiting out there. The hook's a little bit too big for whiting. So what I'm going to do is change this hook here over. To a smaller hook. That'll help those whiting easily hook on. So you can see here we've got Ultimate Whiting Hook from Black Magic. Works really, really well. Pretty sure I've got an open packet somewhere. And you can see how much smaller that hook there is. So we'll do exactly the same, a little bit smaller bait. Just slide it all the way through. And that should do the trick. See if we can get some of those whitings. Little bites, and we're on. Baby little whiting. Really easy to remove the hook. So there you have it, guys. We've got a nice little whiting, undersized, so we'll let this guy go. But as you can tell, new rod, simple setup. That's all you need to get out there and catch a fish. Let this one here go, and we'll catch him another day. We'll try again. This time we'll cast out a little bit further, see if we can get his older brother. I'll peel the prawn. Got a beautiful little piece of bait, and we'll try again. See if we can get his big brother this time, or even his parents. I'm happy with that. Little bite, and we're on. Feels a bit bigger this time. Let's see if we've got a good size whiting. There we go. That's what I'm after, guys. So you can see there, that is a perfectly beautiful, legal, nice big whiting. That is exactly what we're after, guys. Perfect little hookup, perfect little setup. This guy here is going to be my dinner.
So hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. Let me know what you guys think. Should I keep this stuff on this channel, or should I do what I was originally thinking? Start up to this separate channel, keep everything separate. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. As always, like, comment and subscribe. Until next time, I'm Bill. Thanks for watching Billshowto.